Good evening, all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, madam, audible.
Okay. How are you all? Good. Okay, fine, good. See, this technology has its advantages and disadvantages, though I don't like it at all. से सुंदर सुंदर मुह देखिए क्लास रे पढ़ेवार जो मजा स्क्रीन को देखिए पढ़ेवार से मजा नहीं, राइट? बट एनीवे, we have something in our hand and let's take the benefit out of it. If there would be any disturbances in seeing the slide or in my voice, there would be echo or audio issues, you let me know. Just drop a message or let me know. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay, fine. So today we'll be discussing about perception. And I hope all of you know what is perception. Perception any one of the participants or student can unmute and tell what is perception.
Madam, if the student cannot unmute themselves, if you want.
Okay, fine. You can write down if anyone can write down what is perception. Assumptions. Rasmi says there's assumptions. So in the last class, we discussed about mu good example देखिली. If you are carrying a basket of fruits, flowers into a temple to offer it to the deity. Suppose मंदिर को मु कहितली आमे डिस्कस करथिले मंदिर को जिबा पूर्वरु धर फुलटे पड़ी जाउची पाछियारु. What we will do to that? आमे से फुलटा कोन करिया मंदिर रे पशु पशु पाहाच ऊपर पाछियारु गोटे फुलटे पड़ी गला जो डालाटा नै कि भोग डालाटा यू आर गोइंग सेटा पड़ी गला. So what you will do to that flower? You will, Vinita says, will not pick it up. Very true. Will not use it, will not pick it up. And if the same happened to the flower while coming back from the temple ru puja sariki as फेरिला बेलको से पाहाच रे पुणी तमर पूजा हेतिबा सामग्री जो पाछिया रे थिला ए फ्लावर फेल डाउन. What you will do to that? We will take that, right? Now the flower is the same, but our association of meaning to the flower changed, right? So the flower was the same while going inside the temple, the flower was the same while coming out of the temple, but our perspective, understanding, or for us the value of the flower changed with certain actions or with something that happened inside. This is called perception. Perception is understanding the meaning of something as per our own interpretation. So we have 5 sense organs and we collect information from surrounding, lot of information from the surrounding. How do we interpret or what meaning we associate to that? It was for us a non-valuable thing, but while coming back from the temple jo puja phulota puja hetla seta jetale padi gala, we would pick it up, we would use that, we would store that, we would preserve that because we understand that it carries the blessing of the deity. This is called perception. Clear? Understood? Yes. Fine. Now I will be showing you a picture. on the not on the screen. You can see on my image. Is it visible? Now you tell me what it is. Write down in the chat box what is it. Good, 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 great. So many people are attentive then. Many of you wrote it is B, some told it's 13, some told it's I and M, right? The moment I would change this to this, now what is the meaning of that same letter? What is the meaning of this again now? Now everybody, there is one unanimous answer, it is B. It is B. Now nobody is saying it is 13. Can't it be A13C? If I would say it is A13C, why everyone is now sure that it is B? This is called perception. This is called perception. Similarly, we have another image like this. Or let's suppose I would show it like this, or I'll show it like this. Now, some will interpret it as 6, some will interpret it as 9, and it depends on from where they are seeing it. It depends on from where they are seeing it. Right? So this is called perception. A jo tinoti charoti example deli, whatever we'll discuss in another 40 minutes now is this process. Why we or how do we understand various things from different informations, how we interpret them, how we derive meaning out of it. Right? Now, let's suppose I would ask you a question. You are going on a road. You saw a man lying on the road. ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ରାସ୍ତାରେ ଯାଉଥିଲ ତମେ ଦେଖିଲ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକଟେ ରାସ୍ତା ଉପରେ ଶୋଇଛି ରାସ୍ତା କଡ଼ରେ ଶୋଇଛି ମାନେ ପଡି ଯାଇଛି ଶୋଇ ଯାଇଛି what you would be your response କଣ ତମେ ଭାବିବ ସେ ଲୋକଟି ବିଷୟରେ he may be drunk he is sick has faced some accident or unavoidable circumstances. He is homeless, is having rest, is acting, needs someone's help, he is ill, asked him regarding his problem, he is a beggar, he may be angry. Correct, good, right. Now the question is, you all are audience. I gave you information in a particular structure that a man is lying on the road, and why you all interpreted it differently. Why someone thought that he is mad, someone thought he is homeless, someone thought PDG, someone thought he is sick, someone thought met with an accident. Why this happened? Because whenever we get any information, how we arrange it, how we try to derive a meaning out of it, depends on certain internal and external factors. So, if I show you this cup, now tell me this is hot or cold. I'm showing you a cup. Now tell me this is hot or cold. Right. ताले जदि गोटे टेबल उपरे गोटे ग्लास थुआ हेची आ गोटे कप थुआ हेची राइट गोटे स्टील ग्लास थुआइची आ गोटे कप थुआइची स्टील ग्लास टा को टच कला बेले हमें कॉशियसली टच करबानी बिकॉज़ एक्सपेक्टेडली एजम्पशन हला गोटे स्टील ग्लास रे पानी पिया जाए राइट तो स्टील ग्लास रे जेहेतु पानी पिया जाए ताको कॉशियसली टच करिवार किछ नै जदी थिबो ता भीतर पानी थिबो बट व्हेन वी वुड बी टचिंग ए कप हमें टिके कॉशियसली टच करबा काहे कि हमर परसेप्शन हला मोस्ट प्रोबेबली कप रे चा ऑफर करा जाए कॉफी ऑफर करा जाए व्हिच आर हॉट ड्रिंक्स तो जदी ढंका है कि कप ता थिया जे हमें फट से जाके ताको टच कर दबानी व्हिच तो दादरे चा थिबो कप ता गरम थिबो right similarly let's suppose I would say a nurse was entering into the hospital a nurse was entering into the hospital then you write another two sentences for her for the nurse you continue with this line with another two sentences a nurse was entering the hospital no you have to write two sentences for their duty purpose is not a sentence I told you the first sentence is a nurse was entering into the hospital what will be the second sentence she is going to attend the patient she is wearing a white dress she will attend the patient the nurse was entering into the hospital she will be late today she is going now okay fine I got it why you assume that she is a female nurse is a female everyone wrote she is this she will be doing that she will be late she is going for emergency she would why she why not a he and if same thing I will be saying that the driver was driving the truck very rashly and then you continue with two other sentences you would write he was drunk so he was driving it rashly now a nurse would be a female and a driver would be a male is our perception which has been created by our past observations when you say majority means most of the drivers you have seen most of the nurses you have seen were females so it was because of your past experience or because of your observation so whenever we interpret certain information and try to derive meaning out of it it is always backed by it is always supported by certain factors certain internal factors and certain external factors and since every individual have a different set of internal factors and a different set of external factors to act on him ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଚିନ୍ତାଧାରା କିମ୍ବା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର understanding of a information changes varies ସେଥିପାଇଁ କିଏ କହିଲା ଯେ ଯୋଉ ଲୋକଟା ପିଇଛି ସେ ପିଇ ଦେଇଥିବ କିଏ କହିଲା ଯେ ରାସ୍ତାରେ ପଡିଛି ତାର ଆକ୍ସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଥିବ କିଏ କହିଲା ଯେ ରାସ୍ତାରେ ପଡିଛି ତାର ହୋମଲେସ୍ ହେଇଥିବ ତାର ଘର ନଥିବ ସେଇଠି ଶୋଇ ପଡୁଥିବ କିଏ କହିଲା ସେ ଗୋଟେ ବେଗର ହେଇଥିବ right so depending on what we observed in the past what we have experienced what are our personality traits what are our learning ame sabu message ko differently interpret kariba clear so mota moti perception is deriving meaning out of information amaro panchota sense organ achi eyes ears tongue nose skin and all these five sense organs they receive information from the external environment these informations are collected or are selected are received are selected then are organized in a pattern जेमती हमें random words को organize करके sentence तैयारी करू they are organized in a pattern and a meaning is derived out of it clear understood fine now first is what is perception as we told Perception is the organization. Perception is the organization, identification and interpretation of sensory information. तामने आमरो पांचटा सेंस ऑर्गन जहाँ information receive कला external environment रू आमे से information गुड़ा को first collect करिबो, receive करिबो, तापरे ताको select करिबो, तापरे ताको गोटे particular pattern ने organize करिबो, तापरे तारो गोटे meaning derive करिया पई चेष्टा करिबो. Human psychology is always to end up with a story. Everything we see, we want to put a meaning to that. We want to give a meaning to that. And to give meaning, whatever we collect, we have to put them in a sequence. We have to put them in an order. That is called organizing. After putting that in order, we understand the order. And then land up with a story or with a meaning. That is called perception. And in organization or in OB, perception would be a process which would be used to create impression of other people. In the last two classes, we had already discussed how important is interpersonal relationship in an organization and in achieving the common goal. People need to work with each other, along each other in a team, because organization is a group of people. So it is very essential that you must feel good about your team members. Unless until you do that, it is very difficult to attain a common goal. So in organization, in OP, perception's role is to, or it is basically used to understand people, to understand tasks, to understand assignments, to understand others' communication. Let's suppose you don't like someone. You don't like someone because you heard that he is say tama bisare epot sepot kotha samastungu tama organization re kima college re kohuchi. So you don't like him, that he is spreading rumors, nonsense about you, right? Now someday you enter the college, aw se dino ta se pilati ro birthday. What are the chances that you would what are the chances that tame bahut promptly jaiki first taku gote happy birthday wish kar daba? The chances are very remote, very less. केवल जदि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हेतो सेही सिचुएशन में बर्थडे टा विश हबो, जदि मैनेजर बसछि गोटे सब एम्प्लॉई को मीटिंग अछि, देयर इज नो वे आउट, यू हैव टू स्टैंड अप एंड यू हैव टू विश हिम, or else you would try to avoid the most possible, up to the most possible, केमते ताको आजि मु विश न करिबि कि ता सामना को न जिबि. So this behavior, this is a behavior, your response is a behavior which is based on your understanding of the other person. तमे गोटे लोक आडको किमा गोटे टास्क आडको how will you behave depends on how do you understand that task or how do you understand that person. Now, for example, in government offices, we have a very common understanding that unless until you bribe many people, they don't work. Why so? For many of common people's work, they need to bribe the officers. तांको टिके लांच न देले से माने काम होनी बोली बहुत लोकंकर एटा धारणा. Now, when you say, Rahul said it is a part of the system. No, it is not part of the system. It is part of that human being. Now, why he understood that? To do something, I need to charge a certain amount of money. Yes, most of us have this experience, or most of us have this belief that in government organizations, to get something done, you have to bribe people. Now the person who is taking bribe, why he is doing so? Because with his past experience, with his observations, he had understood that whatever I will do after coming to the office has to be charged. Now there will be some police officers who are very honest, who don't charge or who don't accept bribes. Now how their mind is guided? Now this is an event. Charging extra money for our responsibilities or duties is an event. Now how do that honest officer look into this event? He look into this event as unethical, and the person who is accepting it is looking it as everyone is doing that, there is nothing wrong in it. The moment he feels that there is nothing wrong in this activity, he will show it in his behavior. The moment you feel that there is something wrong in this activity, you will not show that behavior. So behavior is guided by our perception. Impression of others is guided by our perception. Let's suppose a man tame park re sakalu morning walk kariya ku jaicho, gote 78 years old uncle chaluchanti a pura gote nalia phula poka shirt te pinchanti. Now I would ask you to comment on the person. Now देखले तमे दी जण सांग चालुच आ अंकल से अंकल सबुदिन देखा हुंती से दिन पूरा गोटे बढ़िया नाली रे फुल पड़िची प्रिंटेड टी शर्ट पिंदी के आछंती वाइब्रेंट रेड. What will be the discussion among you two? तमे जो दी जण सांग चालुच तम भितरे डिस्कशन कोन हबो? स्पेशल ओकेजन, रंगीला टोका कोन रंगीला बुढ़ा ना नथिंग वाह मैन jolly mood. Now see, just a color on the shirt he is wearing is putting you into understanding something about the person. Just a color of a shirt he is wearing is putting you into understanding his life, understanding his personality, understanding his nature, understanding his beliefs. A color in a shirt. And it might happen that see a color blind. Hey pare, see color blind se jaha paile gote pindi pole asile. Se nije hi color dekhi paru nanti. But we interpret or we associate characters to the person. This is how perception plays a very vital role in your behavior or in our behavior or in organization. Clear? So when we discuss perception as a process, there are 4 stages in the process. What we do? First, we receive information through our sense organs. Uncle lal tuk tuk tokao. Uncle kintu color blind. Uncle color dekhi parunanti. Right? So the stages of perception are: first, we receive information with our sense organs. All the informations we are exposed to, we cannot receive them. We cannot interpret them. Suppose, for example, we'll talk about one sense organ, eye. A eye can get exposure to 12 frames in 1 second. Gotte second re akhi 12 frame dekhi paribo. Tale gotte dinare akhi ketteta frame dekhuchi. It is not at all possible that we will try to derive meaning of everything we see. We will try to derive meaning of everything we smell. We will try to derive meaning of everything we hear. Not possible, because we are exposed to tons and tons of information each day. So after receiving information, panchota sense MTB way bele panchota jako sense organ simultaneously information receive kariki brain ko send karibe. Then brain will store some selected informations. Which selected information? तमे रास्ता रू जाउछो, suppose तमे मानिबार रू जाउछो राजमहल जाए, जेते होर्डिंग अछि, it is not possible that you will look at all hoardings. Even if you look, you will remember all the hoardings. No, it is not possible. तमे न्यूज़पेपर पढुछ 16टा पेज अछि न्यूज़पेपर यू स्टार्टेड विथ द फर्स्ट पेज तमे 16th पेज रे पहुंचले आई विल आस्क यू नेम सम एडवर्टाइजमेंट यू कैन नॉट नेम ऑल द एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स यू हैव सीन you cannot name all the headlines you have read right which one you will remember you will select few select those codings informations those headlines which are as per your need जो गुडा को तम नीड को मैच करूची जो गुडा को तमे पूर्वरु खोजुथुलो सपोज तमे किछिटा जॉब वैकेंसीज खोजुथुलो तमर मने रहि जइबो केतेटा जॉब वैकेंसी एडवर्टाइजमेंट तमे पढिछ तमे गोटे हॉलिडे गोटे टूर एंड ट्रैवल कंपनी रो डिटेल्स खोजुथुलो तमको मने रहि जइबो हां ए न्यूज़पेपर रे तीनटा टूर ट्रैवल रो एडवर्टाइजमेंट अछि or some advertisements you will remember which you like ता कलर भल लागला तार प्रेजेंटेशन भल लागला ता गोटे फनी लाइन लिखाइतला भल लागला ना फॉर एग्जांपल फेविकॉल व्हाट इट इज प्रोडक्ट ता कोन is adhesive is a very normal product now gote otha kinila bele do we make a lot of research do we ask the shopkeeper kon brand ro otha achi ko brand ta bhalo को अठाटा भलो काम करूची कार प्राइस केते do we make this analysis no we don't do that then how do we remember the name of a brand of adhesive how Fevicol became so popular this is a product of low involvement category ताको किनिया पई का किछि एनालिसिस हमें के रिसर्च करूनु then how we remember the brand name how that brand became so popular एबे आ दुकान जाई के अठा मागु नाती दुकान जाई के सीधा कहउचंती भाई फेविकॉल देलो ता आगुरु मार्केट लीडर थिला कैमलिन ता आगुरु मार्केट लीडर थिला नटराज तमे माने छोटो हित में देखितो ब्लू डब्बा कैमलिन नठा ब्लू कलर डब्बा कैप खोलिले कैप रे गोटे ब्रश लागितिबो now the entire credit goes to the funny advertisement theme of the advertisement and the theme were super funny themes they were super funny themes एते कॉमिक थीम थिला जे लोक से थीम को देखे एते वेरियस एडवर्टाइजमेंट से फ्रीक्वेंसी एते हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी रे बाहर कले लोगों को से फन एस्पेक्ट एते भल लागला जे से ताको मन रखी कि दे ब्रांड बिकेम पॉपुलर राइट सो सिलेक्ट आमे जेतडा करूछु को इन्फॉर्मेशन को सिलेक्ट करू जोटा हमर वैल्यू सिस्टम संगे मैच करछि हमर नीड को मैच करछि इंटरेस्टिंग अछि ता धरे हमकु किछि मजा लागिछि किबा किछि क्रिएटिविटी अछि व्हिच आई थॉट ऑफ वैल्यू दोस इन्फॉर्मेशंस वी सिलेक्ट कार कलर भलो लागिला कार मॉडल ता भलो लागिला कार पंच लाइन ता भलो लागिला कार राइटिंग स्टाइल ता भलो लागिला एंड वी सिलेक्ट दोस इन्फॉर्मेशन then we try to organize them put them in a sequence if I'll give you 5 words let's suppose chase dog the rat was now what I am trying to say chase dog rat the was what I was trying to say the dog was chasing the rat right so we all tried मु जेतले पांचटा वर्ड कहि देली समस्त को माइंड कामरे लागला आर मीनिंग कोन and to derive a meaning we have to put it in a sequence सिमिलरली हमें जेते इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करके सिलेक्ट कलो रिसीव करके सिलेक्ट कलो ताको गोटे ऑर्डर रे हमें प्लेस कलो आ एटा मु तुमको गोटे टाइम रे पांचटा वर्ड दे देली बेले बेले एमती हुए हमें गोटे जिंस देखते विषय रे इंफॉर्मेशन वेरियस स्टेजेस रे पाओ आज गोटे इंफॉर्मेशन पाइलु 5 दिन परे आ गोटे इंफॉर्मेशन पाइलु 5 दिन परे आ गोटे पाइलु 3 दिन परे आ गोटे पाइलु वी ट्राई टू स्टोर देम इन ए चेन पूर्वरु सेही रिलेटेड जहा इंफॉर्मेशन अछि ताको ता संगे रे लिंक कर देलु and when we place them in a order, the data becomes information and we get a meaning out of it. That is called interpretation. The order रे जेतले आमे सजे दबा हमको तापरे तार गोटे meaning बुझा पड़ी जिवो. That is called interpretation. This is how perception is created. Clear? So receiving is the first stage of creating perception. Our sense organs, they collect information from the outside environment and send it to the memory brain, right? Then we select, the brain select it, the kind of information the sense organs or the amount of information the sense organ receive. The brain cannot attain to all. Every brain has a capacity. So what it does, it selects certain information for further processing. And selection depends on two types of factors, internal factors and external factors. External factors in the color of the information, presentation, size. Always eyes attend to bigger images first. Brain receive करे जदि गोटे बड़ जिंस देखछो गोटे छोट देखछो बड़टा को आगे रिसीव करिवो, सिलेक्ट करिवो. That's why सदाळे ब्रांड नेम, पंच लाइन एगुडा को सब बड़ फॉन्ट रे लिखाई थाए, कंटेंट गुडा को एडवर्टाइजमेंट रे छोट फॉन्ट रे लिखाई थाए, फीचर्स गुडा को छोट फॉन्ट रे लिखाई थाए, आउरी छोट फॉन्ट रे लिखाई थाए जो गुडा को तमे इंटेंशनली चाहूचो ऑडियंस न पढू. गोटे गाड़ी ते तमे एडवर्टाइजमेंट देखिबो 65 किलोमीटर पर लीटर, ता ऊपर दीटा छोटे छोटे स्टार थिबो, से स्टार देखाउ नथबो, तळे से स्टार अगेंस्ट गोटे सेंटेंस लिखाई थिबो, से भी देखाउ नथबो. Yes, terms and conditions, right? So because the advertiser also know that our brain is not registering small font informations. जेते जनों को पाखरे ए ग्रुप रे जेते जनों को पाखरे इंश्योरेंस अछि, how many of you have read the insurance bond? Insurance रो bond केते जनों पढी छ, honestly tell? No. Everyone has insurance, have insurance, LICs, general insurance of different private companies, right? But many jane di jana कहचंती we have read, but others not. That is the 8-page bond with font size 4, 5, 6. से तीन जिन जदि बड़ अक्षर लेखिक हमको दिया था हमें पढ़ी देई थांते. Then organize it. Organizing means placing them in a order or in a synchronized way, and then interpret them to get a meaning. Then how perception as a process is important in an organization, or what is the relationship between perception and organizational behavior? Right. So a organization is a group of people. We have already discussed. A organization uses 3 types of resources: physical resources, financial resources, human resources. Human resource is the most critical and challenging resource because this is the resource which will use the other 2 resources. So for a manager, the critical role comes in managing the human resource. Human resource, if well managed, they will manage the other 2 physical and financial resources and goal will be achieved. Physical or financial resources को manage करिया पई एते challenge नहीं. ताकू जो माने यूज करिवे ह्यूमन रिसोर्स तांको मैनेज करिवारे चैलेंज अछि. That is the critical aspect of the role of a manager, in the role of a manager. So perception, the very important role perception plays in maintaining interpersonal relationship. I told in some previous slide that perception is used to create impression about a person in our mind, and our behavior is guided by this perception we have created. हमको जदि हमें गोटे लोक को जदि भलो बोली इंटरप्रेट कलु, we will show our cooperation, we'll show our sympathy, we'll show our belongingness, we'll try to help him, we'll try to get associated with him, we'll try to get affiliated with him. But if we don't like a person, then probably will not like to work with him, will not like to take his orders, will not like to follow his instructions, will not like to act as per his guidance. Right? Now, for example, let's suppose how many of you would say that I love terrorists? Hardly people will say that I love terrorists. Why? Now, if you go by their concept, what is the fight? What is the name of the fight they do? Jihad? To establish their religion or whatsoever, independence. It's a fight of freedom. Now, if I would say, what do you feel about freedom fighters of our country? We respect them, we are obliged to them, we show our gratitude to them, we salute them. Right? Jadi Laden no gote photo lagithibo a Subhash Bose kar gote photo lagithibo. Now, why I typically say the name, took this name Subhash Chandra Bose? कोटी ना कोटी तांकर भी नोशन टा गोटे टेररिज्म रो लैंडस्केप रे थिला. तुम मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा. A notion which matches with that of terrorism, but we respect him. We don't respect Laden. Dita statue जदि अछि केही जाय के गोटे फुलमाळ पके देबेनी लादेन स्टैच्यू राम कॉमन मैन पब्लिक को भितरु. Right? Because the purpose of their fight, what we understand, was different. The purpose of the fight initiated by both were different. So it is very important that amaro jedi perception da positive no create hela towards a person and a task. When it comes to organization, very specifically pura role tara pole astuchi, impression towards other and your understanding of your role or task. Understanding of your role and your task. Now you are going to a restaurant. What do you expect the waiter to be, humble or rude? You expect the waiter to be humble or rude? To be humble. But can it be defined in his role? ताको जेतले ट्रेनिंग दिया जिवो किमा गोटे जॉब ऑफ ए वेटर दिया जो ताको कोडी लेखा है कि दिया हबो यू नीड टू बी हम्बल. Then he will ask how I need to be humble. These are something which are understood. Now, whether he is humble or not, how you will measure it? From his behavior. Whether he is humble or rude can be measured from the tone of his voice, from his body language, from the vocabs he are using, from the gestures, the way he is speaking. Right? And to be humble, no management can teach him, a waiter, that you need to be humble in this way. It is not a science. You cannot tell him a process. But your customer satisfaction greatly depends on his behavior. If it depends on the taste of the food, it also depends on the way the food has been served. गोटे रेस्टोरेंट जाएंगे तमे सैटिस्फाइड अछो खाली फूड रो टेस्ट पे न फूड टा केमिति सर्व होला दैट आल्सो मैटर्स. Right? So basically when we try to establish a relationship or a role or perception in OB, it boils down to 4 areas. perception plays a vital role in understanding the task you need to perform. हमको जहाँ task दिया जिबो, the job description, whenever we join in a job, we are given a job description. How do you understand the job description? Now let's suppose, for example, a call center executive. A call center executive is given a job description of that you have to give 80 calls in a day. What does this mean? Now, in order to fulfill 80 calls in a day, ता माने ताको 80 टा client को सहित कथा हबार अछि. Now, in order to fulfill that, what she will do? She will dial numbers. Hello, ma'am, you had a problem. You had some complaint. Yes, okay, we'll resolve it. Call disconnect. Second call, ma'am, sir, you had a problem. You registered a complaint. Okay, your complaint will be addressed. Call disconnected. Ma'am, you gave a call. You want to have some query. Okay, I'll answer your query after some time. Disconnected. Because she has understood that मते 80 टा कॉल करिवार अछि. किंतु कंपनी केतळे कहिछि जे 80 टा कॉल करिबो माने कोन? You have to talk to 80 clients and fix their problem. Give them solutions. Register their complaint. Give them a promise. It is not about making 80 calls. It is about giving satisfaction to 80 consumers by registering their complaint, giving them a solution, forwarding their complaint, answering their queries, giving them some promises. से कहबो मते सर आपण कहिथिले 80 टा कॉल करिया को मते 80 टा कॉल कर देली. What is the use of making those 80 calls जो रे तमे गोटे भी कस्टमर को किछि भी सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइड करिनो? You just try to ensure that मोर आज संध्या बेले जो प्रिंट आउट बाहरिबो मो कॉल लॉग रो सेतरे 80 टा नंबर रे डायल कॉल लॉग रे डायल नंबर 80 टा डायल नंबर थिबा दरकार. Then this is not task has not been performed. Task has not been performed. I had been given a syllabus, मते गोटे पेपर दिया गला, गोटे syllabus दिया हे गला आ कहला जे ma'am you go to the class and complete this syllabus. What I'll do, I'll make slides of all topics, put it in the LCD and stand there. Students, please read it, and if you can't understand, you can ask me. Has the task been performed? What is expected out of me? Task टा मोटू जहाँ आशा करा होतला से करिली कि मु के तो कोर्स कंप्लीट कर देली because I have given job of a teacher is to provide information and I had given them slides, every topic and all the notes, but we cannot say the task has been unperformed. So perception has the first role of perception in OB is to understand what has to be performed. Job description de खाली job रो specification टा दिया है, but how it has to be done that I have to design. So it is 80 calls or it is 80 solutions to 80 consumers. It depends on your understanding of your task. Second is understanding associated importance of tasks allotted. If I feel my task is important and others' tasks are not important, or if I feel others' task is important, mine is not, it comes to appraisal, promotions, getting credit, important but when it comes to failure, fail then we say mo kamata to ete important nathila tar se jodi tarata thik se karthanta tale hi jaithanda, right? So understanding associated importance of tasks allotted, jemiti the same call center executive, what is the process is the client gives a call to a call center to lodge a complaint. मो इसी काम करूनी मते गोटे सर्विस दरकार मैं टेक्नीशियन कि मैकेनिक रो सर्विस दरकार. So what I do, मो वोल्टेज रो सर्विस स्टेशन को फोन करी. सर्विस स्टेशन इज a call center. One executive will pick up the phone and her role is to register my complaint. Register complaint, con information she should collect from me. Who am I? What is the brand of AC I am using? Or any gadget जहाँ विषय complaint देबी तार brand model कौन, मोर complaint टा कौन, आउ मते केबे सुधा solution मु expect करूची. एतिक जिंस, right? Then what is her job? Her job is to forward this complaint to the technical people, to the technical department. Mechanics माने जो डिपार्टमेंट रो अछंती जो माने कंप्लेंट को जाके एड्रेस करिवे सेही डिपार्टमेंट को फॉरवर्ड करियार अछि. सपोज गोटे कंपनी क्लेम करूची जे आमे कंप्लेंट को विद इन 24 आवर्स रिजॉल्व करिबो. Now the call center executive received a complaint at 11 PM in the night and she feels mama ette rati helani kali eta ko forward kar debi. And the next day she became very busy after joining her table and 11-12 pore tar mane padla je kali ratro gote complaint forward heji. Now in this already 13-14 hours are gone. And somehow because of this delay say दिन company 24 hours भीतर mechanic से customer घर को पठे परलानी सजाड़े पे. Customer is dissatisfied. He is angry. He is angry. Your company, your service stations are of no use. They are making false claims and promises. 24 hours से तमें address कॉलम. Now this happened because the executive thought that my task is not that important. Or she thought that our technical team is very big and they are not overburdened with orders, with complaints. मु जेते बेले कहले से संग संग पड़ी जे परे बहुत लोक अछन में एते काम नाही तांकर. Perception. Third is understanding preferred behavior to complete task. Understanding preferred behavior to complete a task. गोटे टास्क को कंप्लीट करिया पई कोन बिहेवियर शो करिया को पड़िबो for all the members in the entire group. Someone has to lead, someone has to direct, someone has to follow, someone has to understand, someone has to become a mediator, someone has to become a mentor. गोटे टीम रे जेतले आमे काम करथो बहुत गुडा रोल तादरे बाहरिबो गोटे टास्क रे. एमते गोटे टास्क आसबो जणे लोक बहुत भलो कि जानि छै आरो टीम मेंबर माने जानि नांती. Now the responsibility of that person is to communicate his knowledge, share his knowledge with people who don't know. If you will feel नाइ मन जाननाती भलो छै मु जाउ छै पूरा कामटा कर देबी और पूरा कामरो क्रेडिट नै छिबी मैनेजर थ्रू. What will happen if he does that? And if he fails in completing the task in time, then he would be blamed. One. Second, the other members of the team will feel inferior, and for that inferiority complex, they will never ever coordinate with this person in future. And there will be a messed up interpersonal relationship among the members. So while performing task in a team, it is very much जेंति आजि मु गोटे एसबीआई रो एटीएम को जाइतिली, right? A father and her daughter were there inside. There were 4 teller machines and a father and a daughter were there inside the ATM counter. And सेमन को कैश डिपॉजिट करियार थिला. सेमने बहुत हेक्टिक बोधे फर्स्ट टाइम डिपॉजिट करूथले एटीएम मशीन रे. से भारी स्केप्टिक है कि धीरे धीरे करूथले, बारंबार पढुथले, बारंबार कार्ड काढुथले, पुणी प्रोसेस को रीस्टार्ट करूथले. तापरे मझिरे तांकर 200 रुपीस 100 रुपीस नोट नेलानी मशीन ताको रिवर्ट बैक कला 500 रुपीस नोट खाली नेला. एंड दिस थिंग्स हैपेंड. मो मोर कैश विथड्रॉ करके बाहर को पड़े आसली. Then I heard the security guard of that counter saying, केते बाजे लोक से गोटे मेसिन को पूरा केते समय हेलानी माडी बसचंती एते लोक एठी जमा हेलेनी राइट एंड ही टोल्ड बुझी परना हे देखुनो गपुचंती पुनी से मेसिन पाखु गलेनी पुनी एपरे लोक को छाडू नांती एते लेट कलेनी केते समय रु टंका 2-4000 डिपॉजिट करे जे ठिया आइचंती then I told that see you have to understand everyone is not alike. It might happen that se mane first thora asiki cash mane cash deposit karuchanti gote teller machine द्वारा तो टिके स्केप्टिक अछंती काले कैश पळेबो रिसिप्ट बाहरिबोनी काले मो अकाउंट रे शो होबोनी तांकर कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड अप हेइनी then he told that madam जे से मन पारुनांती मते डाकिया कथा नो but that also they must not be knowing जे मते गुटे सिक्युरिटी गार्ड असिस्ट करि परियो बोली कि बोले अपन नाम कहिचंती कि जाई पचारि संती जे सर जे अपन पारुनांती मु कर देबी कि because bank is every time saying not to share your card information pin with anyone से वो तो सेति पे डाकुनांती अपन को so we need to understand preferred behavior to complete a task मो behavior कोन होबा कथा अन्य मानको behavior मोर अन्य मानको आडको भी behavior कोन होबा कथा and the fourth is clarifying role perceptions for every role there are certain perceptions jemti mu se dino last class example kartili there was a man who had joined as a peon in a office he got his job through rehabilitation scheme he joined the office as a peon he is coming in branded shirts and trousers he is driving a high end car and people are not asking for water to him for tea to bring coffee to move a file they are not asking the blackberry pant shirt pinche taku ko कहबे फाइल नहीं कि सार को दे right so people have not understood his role the role our presentation match करूनी designation our presentation match करूनी so perception again has a role to play in clarifying role perceptions ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रे प्रति रोल संगरे किछिटा परसेप्शन एसोसिएट हिक अछि जेमिति हमर अछि सासु बहु a relationship and it is a obvious relation is सासु माने टॉर्चर करिवे this is a perception a nurse when I said a nurse you all of you started writing she will do this she will do that she is doing this right so OB perception in OB is the role of perception in OB is to clarify the roles we have certain understanding of each role जने मैनेजर हेले कोन करबो गोटे ऑपरेटर हेले से कोन करबो जने पियन हेले कोन करबो जने डायरेक्टर हेले कोन करबो and with this we complete today's topic perception any doubt okay fine anyway I'll be sending you some materials don't worry for that whatever we discussed today no this is from second unit perception is second unit first unit we have discussed in the class the two offline classes we had I'll be sending you some materials whatever we discussed you go through that you refer to your materials if at all you will have any doubt you can ask in the next class tomorrow right thank you and we'll meet again in the next class with another topic if possible I'll show you some examples of perception in the next class also in the slide have a nice time and thank you bye
So good evening to everyone. Am I audible? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yesterday we had a discussion about the first unit, and we also had discussion about what is marketing and what are the different forms of market that is also being discussed by us. I told you what is exactly the different kind of market, like based on customers and all. Then what to be marketed. Then we also covered the process of marketing. I think we already covered core concept of marketing. Today we will move with the 4Ps concept. I think 4Ps concept is not covered, or it is covered. Yeah, I think it is covered. It was already over. Then marketing management function also being discussed by me. So today we will go to the holistic approach of the marketing, and then we will try to understand what are the different environment of marketing we have. So that was the end. With that, your first unit going to be end, and then we will move to the unit 2. Just a minute, let me share my screen with all of you. Just a minute. And as if like yesterday, we'll definitely have an open house at the end of the class. At the end of the class, I will unmute all of you. So whatever your questions and all that you can ask in that time. So let's start with what is the holistic marketing philosophy, or what is exactly the holistic approach. Holistic approach means what? Holistic approach means the values of the marketing. Sorry, the values of the marketing. Now, what do you understood by values of the marketing? Now, it is very essential to understand that while you are a seller, what you really want to sell. So first thing, you definitely want to sell a product. Along with that product, there must be some services which is being attached to the product. So that is also being very essential in point of view of selling. What else you are selling? You are also selling some of the relationship with the product from your side to the customers. So not only you are selling the product or services, but also you are selling so many different kind of relationship. It was being built because of your good ethical behavior. It is being being created because of your good, innovative and qualitative product. So that is what we called it is a holistic marketing philosophy. Whenever you see there is a huge competition in market, and in India like country where the population is very huge, and to satisfy that customers, the range of products, varieties of products, or kinds of products, lines of products, everything is at a very high margin. Fine, and the products are available with a minimum cost, which is called approachable cost, so that people think about to buy, or somehow they will manage to buy the product. So this is what called the holistic approach of the marketing. If you see this particular diagram, holistic marketing actually revolving around 4 different components. First component, it is called internal marketing component. Second one, integrated marketing. Third one, relationship marketing. And fourth one, performance marketing. So holistic approach or holistic marketing behavior is being revolve around four different components. I don't understood Nigamananda Sahu. What exactly this means? Delhi life example diyantu ma'am. Delhi life examples means I don't even understood what is exactly you are actually required. Right? I'm open house kalabale, you Nigamananta, kindly you can tell me what exactly you want. Fine. So while we are talking about internal marketing, now what is internal marketing? Internal marketing is that kind of marketing okay. So while we're talking about internal marketing, now what do you understood by internal marketing? Internal marketing means the marketing which is being occurred inside the organization. So while the marketing is being occurred inside the organization, what exactly one has to control? One has to control the different marketing departments, one has to control the management system, and one has to control the other departments which are being interconnected with the marketing or the parts of marketing. So I will tell with an example that what is exactly internal marketing. So internal marketing is supposed to be like one particular example, something like while we are talking about a particular product which is came to the test marketing or commercialization. So product which is came to the test marketing, did you understood what is test marketing? Test marketing means a product is being manufactured and it is came to the market, but the manufacturer is not manufacture the product with a huge amount. He produces the product with a very minimum amount and try to identify that whether the product is beneficial or not, whether the product can create its demand in the market or not. So for that, what you have to do? So you have to identify some of your internal people who could able to exhibit that product in front of a mass population, who could able to drive that product and exhibit that this product is very much helpful to the people who really requires or needs of that product. So in that way, you could make a or create a marketing environment for your product with your internal people. So this is the first one where your marketing department, your management system, and your other departments can bring together to market a product in front of a mass population. Second one, while we're talking about integrated marketing, now integrated marketing somehow being dependent upon the various different kind of communications, product and services and channels. Now, what do you mean by communication? First, while we're talking about the process of communication or concept of communication, the process or concept of communication means giving awareness about the product. That means if the customers do not have their proper awareness about the product, then they will never buy the product. Fine. If they have a proper information, proper awareness about the product, or related to the product, there are different kind of services which can be available to you, so that the communication or proper communication is essential to identify the demand of the customer, which is being created through the communication system and through the different channels also. Came to the next one, that was called relationship marketing. Maybe it is a very popular terms right now in this competitive environment, that is called relationship marketing. Now, what relation you need to establish, with whom you have to establish a relationship, what should be the pattern of relationship, and what should be the channels of relationship which can help the seller to sell the product at a large extent. Fine. So first one has to establish a superior relationship with the customers, and it must be profitable relationship. Superior and profitable relationship, that means what? You as a seller has to convince the customer to buy the product. Not only buy the product, but also in future, if someone will ask you that what exactly the product is all about, you always say the positive and the satisfactory words in front of the other people, so that other persons or other people who wants to buy the product, they being feel motivated and they will buy the product. This is what a profitable, valuable, and good relationship one seller has to make with the customer. Second one is, what is the pattern of relationship? The pattern of relationship is called continuous pattern. Continuous pattern means what? That means this relationship should not break at any cost. That directly say that whether the customer is interested, not interested, whether the customer is having a need or not having a need of your product, but once the customer have connected with you, you always try to maintain that connection for the future course of action. So how to maintain? I already told in class that how to maintain a good relationship with the customer. So suppose to feel them, they are very, special in terms of giving them a message in their, the birthday, or maybe in anniversaries, or maybe in some special occasions. Apart from that, give them information about your product, about your services, about your innovations, so that the persons will, or the customer is, somehow being bind you, and that is the pattern of continuous pattern of relationship must be continue in from the seller point of view, which can bind the customer with the product, with the market. Third one is in relationship marketing, what exactly the channels that you need to understood. So the channel is, you want to engage some intermediation who could able to help you to sell the product, or as a manufacturer you will go and sell the product. So what basic channels that you want to adapt to sell the product? Ajika date jemti maximum seller try to exhibited their product through the internet system. That means the channel is virtual platform. You could able to cite your own website, open your own website, where displayed of the products are there. So those people who do not have time to visit the market, physical market, they could able to go search their products, where what they really looking for. So searching that products and then try to buy it. Got it? So this is called relationship marketing, which is also a component of holistic marketing. Came to the last one, that was called performance marketing. Now, what do you understood by performance? In this particular context, I want to cite one or two things. That is, first one, while someone is making an organization, what is the basic motto of an organization? You want to, build an organization. First one is for sustainability. Second one for profitability. Third one is to create wealth. Fine. First one, sustainability. Why it is sustainability? Because until you are not sustained in the market, you can't think about profit. आप मार्केट में हो, आपने नया अपना बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया हुआ है, आप मार्केट के अंदर हो, but until the people are not being feel to buy your product, until that time you have to survive in this particular competitive environment. अगर आप sustain करते हो, तो फिर people will buy your product. At a time when people will buy your product, your demand increases, your profit increases. So in that way, you could say that I could able to make more good and better way of performance in terms of profit, which is highly essential. Without profit, you cannot even sustain for a longer time period. So आप अगर बोलेंगे कि सिर्फ sustainability, नहीं, sustainability आप तो कुछ देर के लिए आप you could able to adjust yourself in the market without profit, but for a long run it is highly essential to grab profit. Otherwise you have to close down your organization. Next one is wealth, creation of wealth. Now what is wealth? So आपका financial management में शायद सर ने बोला होगा what is wealth. Wealth is called profit plus health. Profit, which is highly essential, but health is also essential. Health is called goodwill. So creating goodwill amongst the customers, in front of the customers, is also a very, very essential part of your activity while you're making your product available to the customers. So क्या हो गया? अगर हम performance marketing देखते हैं, then you have to understand there are three basic components where performance marketing is revolving around that three basic concepts. First one is how to sustain in market. Then second one is how to make profit or revenue out of the market by selling the product. Third one, it is not only profit, but also you have to create goodwill for your organization. You have to be the brand, or you have to create a brand image for your products in front of the customers. So if you see in the diagram, there are certain components which is being discussed. First one is sales revenue. So you have to increase your sales so that your organization could able to generate revenue out of that sales with a very minimum time period. That is what called first one is performance marketing. Uske baad kya aata hai? Brand and customer equity. So once your sale increases, remember it is now the time came when you create your own brand. So क्या होता है ना, जब sales बहुत ज़्यादा increase हो जाता है, so in that time period there is a good vibes, there is a good information, there is a satisfactory information being spreaded in a very rapid way amongst the customers. Now when it is good or relatively very effective, satisfactory information is being revolved for your product in the customers, then the brand is being automatically formed. What else was there? Ethical performance, or sorry, performance marketing also focuses to ethics of the organization, ethics of the product, ethics of the people. Now, what do you understood by ethics? Ethics is somehow related to the value system. If a product is being, said that the product is having this ingredients, it has to be there. If it is not found there, then it is ethically incorrect. So that is how we could say that the product should be ethical in nature, so that it will definitely deliver superior values to the customer. A customer will definitely buy again and again that product. What else was there? Performance marketing also affect environment. How it is affect environment? When your sales increases, your geographic coverage also increases on base of that sales and revenue. जितना ज्यादा आपका सेल होगा, जितना आपका सेल बढ़ेगा, आप उस हिसाब से रेवेन्यू जनरेट करेंगे. अभी आप अपना ज्योग्राफिक लोकेशन बढ़ाएंगे. अगर आप सिर्फ भुवनेश्वर में अपना अपना प्रोडक्ट बेचते थे, नाउ विल गो टू पुरी, विल गो टू कटक, विल गो टू सम अदर एरियाज जहां पे आप अपना ज्योग्राफिक लोकेशन स्प्रेड करोगे. So that is how you slowly you could able to achieve the whole environment, and you become the brand or market leader. Then you have one more point that was called legal. So performance marketing also has to follow the legal terms and conditions and then deliver the product in front of the customer. And the last one is community. So community are the general well-being whom you have to satisfy. जो general population है उनको आपको satisfy करना पड़ेगा. So that was called, this is what called the holistic approach of the marketing. Now came to the next one, that was called marketing environment. Now what is an environment? If I will ask a question, what is an environment? So that is, maybe I'm expecting a very simple answer. Environment is the surrounding of a population, of a person, of an organization, of people. So जिसका जो surrounding है वो environment है. Maybe that was a very expected answer from all the people who being asked that what is environment. But while we're talking about what is marketing environment, according to Philip Kotler, he says that a company's marketing environment consists of some of the internal factors and forces which affect the company's ability to develop and maintain successful transactions and relationship with the company's target customers. Now, this particular point is being discussed with 2 or 3 major components. The first one is the environment or marketing environment consists of internal factors and forces. Now, in a very short, if I'm going to a description, a very short description. So while we're talking about what is an environment, not going to what is marketing environment, but if I try to, give you an example of what is an environment. So environment means what? In basically when it is in a professional studies, environment are those kind of or environment is consist of those kind of factors or forces. Maybe it is internal or external. That factors and forces might be, having some, putting some differences for the company. Fine. So that means what is an environment? आप अभी बैठ रहे हो, आप अपने घर पे हो, so you are sitting at your house, maybe you are studying along with your mobile phone or laptop. अभी ना आपका AC ऑन है, ना आपका फैन ऑन है, कुछ भी ऑन नहीं है. So that means what? In that particular time period, for that particular time period, when you are sitting at your home and you are enjoying your class, that particular time period ना आपका AC ना आपका फैन आपका एनवायरमेंट पे आता है. बट वही आप ले लो कि ये मार्च का मई का महीना है और आपके क्लासेस चल रहे हैं, उस टाइम में अगर आपका AC और फैन ऑन नहीं होगा, देन you feel hazy, you feel kind of a impulsiveness you could able to feel, and you go and immediately you switch on the your fan. So that means what? In that time period, that particular fan or AC is being included at your environment, because somehow it will create a kind of a unhealthy environment for you while you are sitting at your room and try to be a part of your educational program. Got it? So अभी जो आपको किसी तरह से इम्पैक्ट देता है, आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को किसी भी तरह से इम्पैक्ट देता है, so whatever is making an impact on your organization, that is called as your environmental factors or forces. Got it? Very simple. So here Philip Kotler is actually Philip Kotler is being called as the father of marketing, and whenever we try to identify the definitions or adopt the definition, maximum time we'll try to adopt the definition of Philip Kotler. So here the Philip Kotler says that a company's marketing environment consists of internal factors and forces. Now the one question may arise, because आप लोग question तो पूछ नहीं रहे हैं, आप अपने चैट बॉक्स में ये लिख रहे हैं कि क्या ये क्वेश्चन नहीं है, कुछ और था, शायद मैं भूल गई, जैसे कि क्या 17 से क्या शुरू होता है, 17 नंबर में क्या चल रहा है, ये सब पूछ रहे हो. बट यू कुड आस्क वन मोर क्वेश्चन इन दिस पर्टिकुलर कॉन्टेक्स्ट कि मैडम ये इंटरनल फैक्टर्स एंड फोर्सेस क्यों है, एक्सटर्नल क्यों नहीं है? Fine. So why it is not external? Because while we are talking about external factors and forces, external factors and forces are highly uncontrollable in nature. So जो वो इफेक्ट डालता है वो एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट, उसको कंट्रोलेबल और वो कंट्रोल में नहीं होता है. That's why some particular time the company has to adjust with the or turn is all strategies according to the change of external environment. So आप अगर कंपनी बनाते हो और अपना मार्केट में प्रोडक्ट बेचते हो, सो अगर एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट में कुछ भी चेंजेस हुआ तो आप क्या करोगे ना, अपना स्ट्रेटेजी चेंज करोगे एंड एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट के हिसाब से चलोगे. बट अगर इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट में कुछ चेंजेस होता है और वो आपको आपके वर्क में कोई भी इम्पैक्ट डालता है, तो यू कुड एबल टू somehow it has to be controlled. I will cite one example. अगर आपका एक कंपनी है एंड आपने प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चर किया है and manufacturing cost of a product, sorry, MRP of a product is like 30 rupees. It's a very general product. आपका मार्केट में आप बेच रहे हो, अचानक से क्या हुआ ना, टैक्सेशन फॉर्मेट चेंज हो गया. सो इट इज अ गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी. सो पॉलिटिकल एनवायरनमेंट में क्या हुआ कि आपका टैक्सेशन फॉर्मेट गवर्नमेंट ने चेंज कर दिया. सो आप ले लो, आप 8% टैक्स भरते थे, अभी आपको 12% टैक्स भरना पड़ेगा. अभी ये जो 12% टैक्स है, मतलब जो 4% का इंक्रीज हुआ, वो तो आपके प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट में इंक्लूड नहीं है. फाइन, आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है 30 रुपीज, उसमें 8% का टैक्स का इंक्लूड है, आपका बाकी टैक्स का इंक्लूडेड नहीं है. अभी आप करोगे क्या? अब 30 रुपीज में कितना माल, मतलब कितना मैन्युफैक्चर किया ना, 2 लाख प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चर कर दिया. सो MRP 30 रुपीज लिख के, और वो भी मार्केट में आपने कमर्शियल मार्केट में डाल दिया। अभी करेंगे क्या? अभी कुछ नहीं कर सकते, यू हैव टू होल्ड द प्रोडक्ट। आप ये 30 रुपीज जो MRP लिखा हुआ है उसको बोलिए कि जो जिस रिटेलर के पास है, होलसेलर के पास है, इन्वेंटरी में है, उसको होल्ड करके रखिए। अगर ये मार्केट में जाता है तो क्या होता है ना, आपको वहां पे लॉस हो जाएगा। गॉट इट? सो ये जो एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर्स का चेंजेस होता है, सो मे बी इट इज ना पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर में चेंज हो रहा है, या तो फिर इकोनॉमिकल फैक्टर में चेंज हो रहा है, या तो फिर आपका लीगल फैक्टर में चेंज हो रहा है, नेचुरल प्रोसेस में चेंज हो रहा है, इंटरनेशनल मार्केट की वजह से चेंजेस आ रहा है। सो ये जो चेंजेस आएगा ना, उसको कंट्रोल करना इट इज हार्डली पॉसिबल, और आई कैन से इट इज इम्पॉसिबल टू कंट्रोल। आप बोल रहे हैं ना डे टू डे लाइफ का एक एग्जांपल दीजिए। सो जैसे अभी सरकार ने आपके जो क्या होता है, राशन कार्ड होता है, राशन कार्ड में वेट देना बंद कर दिया। फाइन। सो व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टूड बाय दैट? वेट देना बंद कर दिया। जब भी ये डिबेट में आता है तो उसमें एक ही चीज आता है कि क्योंकि यूक्रेन में there is a severe war is going on still in Ukraine, so Ukraine is unable to supply the wheat to the various countries. That's why ये जो गेहूं का जो रेट है वो बढ़ गया है, उसके लिए सरकार ने राशन में और राशन कार्ड के थ्रू गेहूं देना बंद कर दिया। मुझे पहले this is what the situation, it is uncontrollable. So the factors which is being influenced by the external environment or external environmental factors and forces, it is hardly possible to control. So उसके लिए क्या बोलते हैं ना हम लोग, internal factors and forces को लेंगे which is somehow it is controllable in nature. And what else one has to do? अगर उसका इफेक्ट आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पे आता है according to the your definition, which affect the company's ability to develop or maintain successful transactions and relationship. So अगर ये आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को सपोर्ट करता है, if it is supports your organization to maintain and to deliver successful transactions and relationship with the target customers, then your organization will definitely turn all the opportunities which is available in the outer environment into profit. अगर ये आपको सपोर्ट नहीं करता है, क्रिएटिंग हडल्स, आपको हडल्स क्रिएट करता है, देन whatever ability you have that is being developed by you or maintained by you for the successful transaction and relationship, ये आपको सपोर्ट नहीं देता है to achieve your market objective or turn your opportunities into profit. Now while we're talking about what is the different क्योंकि जो क्वेश्चन मैंने दिया था उसमें बोला था कि कंपोनेंट्स के बारे में फोकस करना है. So while we're talking about the different components of marketing environment, there are three basic components: micro environment, macro environment and internal environmental factors. मैं थोड़ा enlarge करती हूँ इसको. I'll try it. Just a minute. अभी थोड़ा enlarge में देख लीजिए. So जो this particular portion is called internal environment. This particular portion is called micro environment, and this particular portion is called macro environment. So there are three different type of environment. There are three different type of environment we have in the components. First one is internal environment. So internal environment consists of employees, equipment. Fine. So these are some of the factors of internal environment. What are the micro environment or external environment? Micro environment में क्या आता है ना, customers आते हैं, competition आता है, फिर intermediaries आते हैं, suppliers आता है. Fine. So these are internal micro environment or controllable environment भी बोल सकते हैं. Now came to macro environment. Now what is macro environment? Macro environment means which are uncontrollable environment, and that consists of political environment, now legal environment, socio-cultural environment, economic environment, international environment, technological environment. So these are the environment which are highly uncontrollable in nature. Now, came to the first one, internal environment. Now, internal environment consists of customers, intermediaries, suppliers, and other stakeholders. Now, what do you understood by internal environment or micro environment ko le lijiye? So it all comprise all those organizations and individuals who directly or indirectly affect the activities of the company, and किसके ऊपर ये affect करता है? It will affect in customers, intermediaries, suppliers, and stakeholders. One by one, I'll try to give you some examples and try to give you understanding. While it is internal environment or micro environment, I told you so many times that internal environment and micro environment both are highly controllable in nature. Now, what do you understood by highly controllable? कहीं पे जाके ना आप इसको कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि कस्टमर ले लीजिए. Now, one time was there where your product is being highly demanded by the customer. जैसे आप एक soap का example ले लो, वो है Dove. आपने definitely you saw this advertisement in the in the television that this soap is a cream based soap. This soap introduces way back, and this soap is introduces with a very high cost of 130 rupees in Indian market. And remember, while we're talking about buying a soap, and 90% of our population is actually going to buy a soap which is cost around 30 or 35 rupees. अगर हम बात करें 20 years से पहले. So that is, Dove came along with the 130 rupees or 125 rupees, where other soaps are in the market with 30 rupees. So why someone will buy a product which is cost around 130 rupees? So it is hardly possible to buy. So kya hua na, Dove is introduced in the market, but Dove is unable to create its own demand in the market. So Dove has did one particular thing. He is compromising with the price, and the price fall down from 100 plus to 90 rupees. Still, it is in a condition of hutch-patch where people do not want to buy a product which is cost around 90 rupees. Then it is fall down to 70 rupees. So now the soap is available with the in the market with the similar price margin which is available in the with the other product which is available in the market. So abhi Dove soap kya aata hai na, marginally similar price margin mein aata hai jo other soap provide karte hain. So that means what? If you not found your suitable customers, so you could able to control your product. Maybe you could able to control the product by reducing the price to attract the customer, or maybe putting some innovation to attract the customer, or maybe you try to change the product with a minimum change of your raw materials, so that you could able to control the customers' demand, want, and need. Then intermediaries. Intermediaries are those people who could able to play a kind of a platform between the product and the customers. So here I could able to cite one example. If someone wants to make an investment in stock exchange, what is the best way to go on investment? That is, you have to choose an intermediation. That intermediation is maybe an app, or maybe a physical person, or maybe an agency. So you have to approach someone who is an expert in this particular market, because you are not the expert. Then you try to take a help of that intermediary. वो जो intermediary होता है ना, you have to tell him that he has to help you. Once he will help you, then you could able to make your investment in the stock exchange. So ये जो intermediaries होता है ना, इसको control करना बड़ा easy होता है. Why? Because you have to make certain rules and regulations for the intermediaries, like in stock exchange, in RBI, in insurance. So in RBI, you have bank embursement officers who could able to resolve your issues, challenges, problems may be created through the intermediaries or not. Same as to insurance, you have insurance embursement officers who could try to resolve your issues or challenges which is may be related to the, to some particular problems which is arises, maybe due to intermediaries or maybe not. Got it? So even in stock exchange also there are some particular websites where you could able to launch your issues, your problems, if it is connected with intermediaries or not. But somehow intermediaries are being, controlled. Now came to the next point, that was called suppliers. Now, I think someone is making, chat that it is not visible. It is visible. I think my slide is visible. Please chat yes or no. Is it visible? Yes. Okay. Thank you. So, okay. Thank you. So, who is not actually has a complaint? Please check your internet connectivity. So next one is supplier. Supplier is the person who supplies raw material. So different type of raw materials में क्या आता है, जैसे आपका financial raw material होता है, financial raw material होता है, that means financing to the company. फिर होता है क्या आपका raw material for the manufacturation. वो raw material आपका कौन सा product आप बना रहे हो उसके ऊपर depend करता है. So supplier is someone who supplies different kind of raw materials. कभी कभी ये तो आपको employees भी raw material employees भी देते हैं. So the suppliers are supplies different kind of raw materials to the company. Now, what you have to do if there are some particular issues, problem or challenges, being find out with the suppliers, it could be controllable. जैसे कि आपने आपको some skilly employees चाहिए, तो आपने एक कंसल्टेंसी एजेंसी से कहा कि भाई हमें स्किली एम्प्लॉइज चाहिए, आप ये वाला हमारा एडवर्टाइजमेंट ले लो और कुछ बंदे भेज दो जो अच्छे एम्प्लॉइज बन पाए या तो फिर स्किल होगा. So they will send some people. Now you screened them. One screening was there. Now you screened them. If you feel that these are the people who are you looking for, then you appoint them. Otherwise, you'll just send them or say them that you being in a hold. If we'll call you, you came back. So you could able to control your suppliers. If the supplier supplies raw material and अचानक से क्या हुआ, पेट्रोल का प्राइस हाइक हो गया या फिर डीजल का प्राइस हाइक हो गया, तो सप्लायर्स जो सप्लाई करता है रॉ मटेरियल उसका भी प्राइस हाइक हो जाएगा. भाई ये तो एक एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर है ना, आपका पेट्रोल का प्राइस होना हाइक होना, ये तो एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर हो गया. बट फॉर दैट एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर आपका सप्लायर्स somehow it was being impacted, it was being somehow it was being related. जब ये रिलेटेड होता है तो क्या होता है ना, आपका सप्लायर आप you could able to control it, you could able to try to use your resources in an optimum way and you could able to go along with that. Fine. ओके, आई होप दिस टाइम वो आप जो ड्राइंग कर रहे हो ना, तो वो मत कीजिएगा. अगर करोगे तो मैं सिर्फ पढ़ाऊंगी, ना मैं स्लाइड डालूंगी, ना मैं आपके ग्रुप में दूंगी. सो इट इज माय वर्ड. इफ यू वांट वी विल कैरी ऑन. देखिए मैं तो पढ़ाऊंगी, आप जो भी करें, क्योंकि मेरा तो इट इज माय ड्यूटी टू कंप्लीट माय पेपर. सो आप अगर करेंगे तो फिर आपका नाम ही है आरडी स्केच फन. So may next class से I will request all of you to came along with your own name. It is not a name like FT कुछ sketch fun, ये नाम ही नहीं है, छोड़िए. So I will not going to that. Now other stakeholders, वो other stakeholders कौन है? Coming to that, other stakeholders are customers, employee, local communities, government, intermediaries, suppliers, and financial communities. So these are other stakeholders. Going very to one step ahead, if you am coming to the internal environment, you have some other portions that needs to cover, that is suppliers we have already discussed, market intermediaries already discussed, consumers already discussed. Now came to competition. What are the different type of competition we have? We have three different type of competition. So that was called your brand competition, product form competition, and desire competition. वो brand firm or brand competition. What is exactly brand competition? Brand competition means when a similar kind of product is being produced by different brands, and to sell the product in the market, they have a fight or competition amongst themselves. I cite one particular example, like आप सुबह उठते हो, आपको चाय पीना होता है, so there are different brands of चाय की पत्ती was being developed by different companies, something like Tata, Brook Bond, and others like your Fine. So there are so many different companies who produces tea leaves, tea dust. So there is a huge competition between these brands to attract the customers. So क्या करते हैं ना, कोई आयुर्वेदिक टी बनाता है, कोई ग्रीन टी बनाता है. So this is how these particular organizations try to control. Yes, Taj also is a part of that. So try to control the competition and try to sell the product to the customers. And customers also feel very delighted when he saw a kind of a similar product is being produced by different brands. और आप अपने choice से कोई भी brand का खरीदो तो आपको you will feel happy if you are being satisfied. अगर आप satisfied नहीं हो तो फिर you just go and buy some other brand's product. So it is available to the market. It is somehow beneficial to the customers also. Second one is product firm competition. Product firm competition matlab, if I will cite one example, that is 4-seater cars. It is a kind of a firm which is similar, like a 4-seater car produced by Maruti, produced by Tata, produced by Hyundai, produced by Kia, produced by MG. Now 8-seater cars, same companies also produces 8-seater cars, 12-seater cars. It is a kind of a product firm. So what you exactly see? That this kind of similar firm जो होता है ना, उसमें price range भी around similar ही आता है. Like 4-seater car, it is somehow revolving around 5 to 7 lakhs or 8 lakhs. फिर आता है आपका 8-seater car जो आपका 7 से 9 lakhs के अंदर आता है. So it based on whatever innovations are being inputted by the organization, उसके ऊपर बेस करके आपका प्राइस का वेरिएशंस आता है. Last one is called desire competition. Desire competition, or otherwise it is called generic competition. Now generic competition क्या होता है ना, डे टू डे लाइफ में हम जो प्रोडक्ट यूज करते हैं उसका एक जेनरिक कंपटीशन होता है. So generic competition is based on the need of the individual people. जैसे कि हो गया, देखिए जेनरिक प्रोडक्ट्स में ज्यादा कंपटीशन होता ही नहीं है, क्योंकि हम लोग डे टू डे लाइफ में जो प्रोडक्ट यूज करते हैं, लाइक स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम टूथपेस्ट टू ब्रश टू आपका खाने का हो गया, फिर आपका फ्लोर क्लीनर हो गया. वी आर वेरी कंसर्न्ड अबाउट सम पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड्स, फाइन, एंड वी विल बाय दैट. जैसे कि इफ आई गिव एन एग्जांपल, मैं जब से अपने घर में हूँ, लाइक मैं जब से अपने किचन में हूँ, मैं देख रही हूँ कि एक ही ब्रांड का हमारा हल्दी का पाउडर आ रहा है, वो रुचि का है, और किसी ब्रांड का आता ही नहीं है. अगर रुचि नहीं मिला तो 5 अलग अलग शॉप हम घूमेंगे, बट हमें रुचि का ही चाहिए. ये होता है डिजायर कंपटीशन. दैट मीन्स व्हाट एग्जैक्टली योर डिजायर अबाउट द प्रोडक्ट. इफ आई एम अ कुकिंग पर्सन, मैं कुक करती हूँ, तो आई विल go to buy that particular product what my desire. जैसे कि कुछ होता है ना, आपका जो टेंट हाउस वाले होते हैं जो कुकिंग करते हैं शादी में या फिर कोई बड़ा सा इवेंट हो गया, उनका भी देखिए वो जो आपको एक लंबा सा लिस्ट देंगे ना, उसमें ब्रांड लिखा होगा. अगर आप ये ब्रांड का नहीं लाओगे तो बंदा बोलेगा कि भाई आपका खाना खराब हो, सो फिर भगवान भरोसे, क्योंकि आपने मेरा ब्रांड नहीं दिया. So this is what individuals desire. तो आपका क्या ब्रांड है, उसका क्या ब्रांड है, वो क्या चाहता है, या फिर खुले मार्केट से निकालो. So that is all about desire competition, where brands are limited but competitions are very high. Now came to the last point, that was called public. Now how public is under in this particular micro environment of marketing. Now public कौन होता है, ना वो कस्टमर होता है ना वो कंज्यूमर होता है. कस्टमर कौन होता है, जो प्रोडक्ट खरीदता है, मे बी नॉट द एंड यूजर. बट कंज्यूमर कौन होता है, खरीदता है या फिर नहीं खरीदता है, बट एंड यूजर होता है. फाइन, ट्राई टू अंडरस्टूड दिस पर्टिकुलर डिफरेंस. कस्टमर वो होता है जो खरीदता है बट वो एंड यूजर नहीं होता है. जैसे कि आपने खरीदा प्रोडक्ट, फाइन, यू बाय अ प्रोडक्ट एंड यू गिव इट टू योर सिस्टर, फाइन. अभी एंड यूजर कौन हुआ? आपका सिस्टर हुई है एंड यूजर. सो पब्लिक क्या होता है ना, एक ऐसा दिस इज व्हाट अ पर्टिकुलर कंपोनेंट व्हिच इज नॉट अ कस्टमर, नॉट अ कंज्यूमर. Now, who is public? Public may be press. So maybe the person who is writing about a particular product, he never used that product, but he try to write the product and try to enhance the demand of the product in front of the people. वो बंदा खुद ने कभी यूज नहीं किया वो प्रोडक्ट, बट प्रोडक्ट के बारे में इतने अच्छी तरह से लिखेगा कि आप खरीदना चाहोगे. दैट इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ द प्रेस. सो प्रेस में क्या होता है ना, ये किसी और का थिंकिंग प्रोसेस है. जो लिखता है, जो इंसान लिखता है, वो जो लिखता है, हम लोग जब सुबह उठकर वो पेपर पढ़ते हैं ना, उसका चश्मा लगा के हम अपना दिमाग उसके हिसाब से टर्न कर लेते हैं. नाउ वॉट एवर ही सेज, if I am feeling happy with that language, with that style of presentation, तो मैं जाऊंगी और वो प्रोडक्ट खरीद के लाऊंगी. दैट इज द पावर ऑफ प्रेस. एंड सो एज टू वाइस वर्सा, अगर प्रेस चाहे तो इतना नेगेटिव एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट कर सकता है किसी प्रोडक्ट के लिए, सो लोग खरीदेंगे ही नहीं. सो दैट इज व्हाट कॉल्ड प्रेस. देन फाइनेंशियल पब्लिक. फाइनेंशियल पब्लिक जो पैसा लगाता है कंपनी में, जो इन्वेस्टर्स होता है कंपनी का, वो है फाइनेंशियल पब्लिक. अगर फाइनेंशियल पब्लिक अपना पैसा ड्रैग कर ले, निकाल ले, तो आपका कंपनी डूब जाएगा. सो दीज आर आल्सो वेरी एसेंशियल पार्ट ऑफ योर कंपनी. देन गवर्नमेंट कौन होता है? गवर्नमेंट होता है वो पब्लिक जो दूर से खड़े होके चेंजेस करता है लीगल फॉर्म्स में, रूल्स रेगुलेशन में, चार्जेस में, लाइसेंसिंग में, टैक्सेस में. So as you are selling your product, you have to understood the variations of the market and government and have to accordingly go along with that. General public कौन होता है? वो बंदा होता है जो खरीदता है प्रोडक्ट, यूज करे या ना करे, एक गुड और बैड वाइब्स स्प्रेड करता है amongst the other person. So this is what called the micro environment. Now came to the macro environment. So macro environment forces consist of macroeconomic environment, political environment, social and cultural environment, demographic environment, technological environment, and ecological environment. One by one, just a very short explanation from my side. What is exactly macroeconomic environment? Macroeconomic environment consists of various things, something like the economic system, economic rules regulation, taxes, formation of tax, formation of licensing, creation of capital by the economic sector. You can say that controlling the human capitals, then the per capita income, GDP, all these are includes in the macroeconomic environment. Fine. Just I'm giving one example, like gross domestic product. It is a very familiar, term for all of us. हम सबको पता है what is gross national income or maybe gross domestic product. Fine. So क्या होता है gross domestic product? Anyone? What is GDP? What is GDP? We usually say na GDP is falling down और GDP बड़े बुरी तरह से अभी fall कर रहा है. So what is that GDP? Okay, number of goods product in country. Gross domestic. Yeah, I know that is gross domestic product. वो होता क्या है? Gross domestic product होता क्या है? Per capita income होता है वो. Monetary value of the final goods. I think I can add, आप लोगों के साथ मैं भी ऐड करूंगी एक स्टेटमेंट दैट शायद जीडीपी होता है एक रेशियो बिटवीन डिमांड एंड सप्लाई. एक रेशियो होता है दैट इज अबाउट डिमांड एंड सप्लाई. फाइन. ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट क्या होता है? ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट होता है, what is exactly the demand of the product in your country, and yes, that is production and consumption. So आपका demand क्या है product के लिए, and how much you could make it in a consumption or production. Very simply एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं. आप इंडिया में देख लीजिए, yes, it is produced for 1 year, that is correct. So आप इंडिया में देख लीजिए, डे बाय डे आपके जो डेली खाने की चीजें, फूड प्रोडक्ट्स है, उनका प्राइस बढ़ रहा है. एंड सिमिलरली जो मोबाइल फोन के रेट से वो डिक्रीज हो रहा है. यू अंडरस्टूड, खाने की चीजें की रेट बढ़ रही है, मोबाइल फोन के रेट घट रही है या फिर कम हो रही है. उसका मतलब क्या है, खाने की प्रोडक्ट जो है, जो क्रॉप्स है और जो डे टू डे लाइफ में प्रोडक्ट्स है, उसके प्राइस क्यों बढ़ रहा है? क्योंकि ये डिमांड बढ़ रहा है, सप्लाई घट रहा है. डिमांड इज इंक्रीजिंग, सप्लाई इज डिक्रीजिंग. दैट्स व्हाई द प्रोडक्ट प्राइस is increasing. That means directly says that the manufacturing of the agricultural product in India day by day it is decreasing. Fine. Now when the manufacturing is decreased, demand increases, and the government, the product are not available in the market to satisfy the demand, then your gross domestic product का value बढ़ जाता है. Fine. और एक प्रोडक्ट लीजिए, जो आपका एक मोबाइल फोन है, इट इज नॉट बीइंग प्रोड्यूस्ड एट इंडिया. वेरी फ्यू मोबाइल फोन आर प्रोड्यूस्ड इन इंडिया, एंड दोस प्रोडक्ट व्हिच इज बीइंग प्रोड्यूस्ड इन इंडिया, वो इंडियन खरीदते ही नहीं. हम क्या खरीदते हैं? हम ओप्पो खरीदते हैं, हम वन प्लस खरीदते हैं, हम सैमसंग खरीदते हैं. सो ये सारा जो प्रोडक्ट है, एमआई खरीदते हैं, रेडमी खरीदते हैं. ये जो सारा प्रोडक्ट है, ये फॉरेन से import होता है. Fine. And it is imported in a such a huge manner to India, so that the price of these mobile phones drop down drastically at India, where the demand increases. ऐसा नहीं कि demand नहीं है, demand है, but इतना ज्यादा supply हो रहा है कि वो demand को satisfy कर रहा है. So the GDP of this kind of products are being very high. That's why you saw a fall down in price. Got it? So that is what one example of micro environment or microeconomical environment. Yeah, Indian brands are there. I am not saying Indian brands are not there, but what is my look point? How many of us are using these Indian brands? No, we are 90% or 99% of population using the mobile phone which is came from foreign. It was foreign brands. Sorry. It came to political environment. So political environment also putting a huge impact on the marketing environment. How? If the rules regulation being changed through the political environment, then to satisfy this rules regulation, there are certain changes has to made by the marketing environment. Got it? So in that way also you could not able to control your these political environment changes. What do you have to control? Either you have to control your price, or you have to control your selling aspect. So this is what political environment, which is highly uncontrollable. One more is social and cultural environment. Remember, social environment and cultural environment, those are very effective. These two are very effective to the marketing environment. How? Like जैसे हो गया आपका सीजनल, आपका जो आप व्यापार करते थे, सीजनल व्यापार. चलिए एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं. दिस ईयर आपके अक्टूबर पे दिवाली था, तो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर रियली फाउंड क्रैकर्स इन द मार्केट? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू? I don't think this time crackers are allowed to sold in the market. तो जहां पे भी आप देखो तो कोई क्रैकर्स इधर आपको छुपा के आपको बेचा, या तो फिर आपके घर में 2 साल पुराना था, आपने खुद ही फोड़ दिया. Fine. So it is very difficult to find out crackers in this particular Diwali this year. Why? Because government ने बैन डाला था कि वो क्रैकर्स नहीं बेच सकते. But it is one of the social gestures of of our population that दिवाली में हम क्रैकर्स को फोड़ेंगे ही फोड़ेंगे। ना ऐसा क्या होता है ना, आपका ये जो सोशल एनवायरनमेंट है, कल्चरल एनवायरनमेंट है, इट विल अफेक्ट अ लार्ज एक्सटेंट टू द मार्केटिंग एनवायरनमेंट, जबकि इन स्पेसिफिकली इन इंडिया where we are bounded with some particular culture, we are bounded with some social values, social gestures। ऐसे में अगर आपको कुछ नहीं मिला, जैसे पटाखे नहीं मिले, अगर कोई सरकार बैन कर दे कि आप दिया दिया भी नहीं जलाएंगे, तो क्या होगा ना, इट विल हैम्पर द इंडिविजुअल्स morality, it is hamper to the individual emotions, and it will create a very harsh impact on the market। फिर आगे आपका डेमोग्राफिक एनवायरनमेंट, डेमोग्राफिक है पॉपुलेशन। अगर इफ वी एज एन इंडियन सॉ द राइज इन प्राइस, अगर हम देख रहे हैं कि प्राइस बढ़ रहा है किसी में, अगर हम देख रहे हैं कि डे बाय डे हमें नौकरी नहीं मिल रहा है, स्कार्सिटी ऑफ एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी, अगर हम देख रहे हैं कि एजुकेशनल सिस्टम भी फॉल डाउन कर रहा है, अगर हम देख रहे हैं कि स्टॉक एक्सचेंज भी फॉल डाउन कर रहा है, सबके अंदर पहला कंपोनेंट है क्या, कि हमारा यहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन इज अनकंट्रोलेबल। एंड जहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन ब्लास्ट होता है, जहाँ पे आपका पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज्यादा होता है, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू satisfy the people with their demand। एंड इतना ज्यादा अगर आपका पॉपुलेशन हो जाएगा तो फिर डिमांड इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी हाई, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली सप्लाई उसी तरह से होना, इट इज हार्डली पॉसिबल। सो आप देख लीजिए इंडिया में कोविड हुआ, कितना जल्दी रैपिड एक्शन में ये फैल गया। व्हाई? बिकॉज वी हैव अ वेरी ह्यूज पॉपुलेशन इन इंडिया। बट वहीं पे अगर आप ले लो न्यूजीलैंड, वहां पे कोविड हुआ और 15 दिन के अंदर ही उनका कोविड कहीं पे चला गया, एंड दैट इज द फर्स्ट कंट्री हु बिकम्स द कोविड फ्री कंट्री विद इन 15 डेज। क्यों? उनका पॉपुलेशन बहुत कम है। अगर इतना कम पॉपुलेशन है तो आप कहाँ से ग्रुप में आओगे, कहाँ पे वो सोशली आपको मतलब आपके सोसाइटी में ये आपका जो कोविड है वो घूम फिर के सबको लग जाएगा, नहीं होगा ना। तो क्योंकि ये डेमोग्राफिक एनवायरनमेंट का है, आपका पॉपुलेशन कंट्रोल्ड है। इंडिया में सॉरी इंडिया में पॉपुलेशन का कंट्रोल नहीं है। इट विल क्रिएट सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ challenges to the manufacturing industry, to the agricultural industry, to the entertainment and service industry, where you are seeing there are constant increase of demand and constant decrease of supply। Then came to technological environment। Technological environment क्या होता है? The technological environment is something which is highly dynamic in nature। डायनामिक मतलब बहुत चेंज होता है, इट इज कॉन्स्टेंटली एंड कंटिन्यूअसली चेंज। आगे ले लीजिए, आपने अपनी कंपनी में एक सॉफ्टवेयर डाला हुआ है, अभी वो सॉफ्टवेयर का प्राइस हो गया सम लाइक 10 lakhs और 15 lakhs। 6 महीने के अंदर वो सॉफ्टवेयर आउटडेटेड हो जाता है, फिर आपको नया सॉफ्टवेयर डालना होता है, वो होता है 6 या 7 लाख का। फिर 6 महीने के बाद वो भी सॉफ्टवेयर पुराना हो गया, नया सॉफ्टवेयर डालना है, वो भी 6-7 लाख का आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट हुआ। सो व्हाट यू अंडरस्टूड, योर वेरिएबल कॉस्ट जो आपको कंट्रोल करना चाहिए, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट को आपको कंट्रोल करना चाहिए, वो ये टेक्नोलॉजिकल एनवायरनमेंट के लिए वो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज नॉट एबल टू कंट्रोल। एंड वंस इट इज नॉट बीइंग कंट्रोल्ड, देन इफ द मार्केट इज समहाउ फॉलिंग डाउन, देन आपके वेरिएबल कॉस्ट की वजह से देन योर कंपनी इज आल्सो फेसिंग अ लॉस। So last one is called ecological environment। Ecological environment is somehow affected through the different geographical variations। जो geographical variations होता है, natural environmental variations होता है। Natural environment में क्या होता है कि आपका जो natural resources है, if you are not able to utilize that natural resources in a proper way with an optimum utilization, then ये नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस खत्म हो जाता है टाइम से पहले। जैसे उड़ीसा में हुआ, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो गए। इफ द नेचुरल रिसोर्सेस विल बी गोइंग टू diminish, then what happened, some of the particular company is going to be closed down। so ये हुआ आपका माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट। so this is what the completion of your first unit. I will share this particular notes in your group. आप एक बार पढ़ लो. अगर कुछ भी आपको लगे कि no, there is some particular questions, so you I have unmuted, so you can ask question.
Hello, ma'am.
Someone is asking about, someone is
Hello.
constantly asking about what is oligopoly market. Let me tell you what is oligopoly market. Oligopoly market is a market where buyers are very, huge, and sellers are also very huge in number. Monopoly क्या होता है? Monopoly is a market where buyers are, huge, but sellers are limited, very limited number of sellers. But in oligopoly, the ratio between buyers and sellers are very similar, which create a kind of a competition in the environment. Huge amount of competition maybe create a kind of unethical practices. That is what called oligopoly market. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Anything
ma'am.
else? Anything else want to ask?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
hello. मैम आपण जो कहले परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग रे तीनटा जो थाए पॉइंट सस्टेनेबिलिटी क्रिएशन ऑफ वेल्थ एंड थर्ड पॉइंट इज व्हाट
Let me check. What you are asking?
wealth creation of
Performance
wealth
marketing rate?
मैम सस्टेनेबिलिटी क्रिएशन ऑफ wealth and third one is
Sustainability. Second one is profit. Third one
Right.
is creation of goodwill or health or creation of popularity. आपण जहाँ भी कोई परिये. First one is sustainability. Second one is profit. Third one is wealth.
थैंक यू
मैम ये जो आएगा आपका जो पीपीटी भेजेंगे कौन से ग्रुप में भेजेंगे मैम? डीडीसी कॉलेज का जो ग्रुप है उसी में भेजेंगे क्या?
जो एडमिन वाला ग्रुप है.
जी जी.
That is what is our
या फिर कुछ न्यू ग्रुप बनाया है क्या?
I don't know. I don't know, Pradyumna. You can ask to your friends whether there is any new group or not, because I don't have any idea. Whatever official group we have, I will put all my notes and whatever slides I have, I will put in that official group so that everyone can, have that.
When it will be put, ma'am?
Tomorrow or अभी डाल दूंगी.
Okay, 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 ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question.
हाँ please.
मैम आपने जो होलिस्टिक मार्केटिंग का जो बता रहे थे वहाँ पे परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग का बारे में एक बार फिर से बता देंगे, वो समझ नहीं पाया.
परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग तो अभी मैंने बोला. परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग मीन्स हाउ योर कंपनी विल परफॉर्म. नाउ हाउ योर कंपनी विल परफॉर्म फर्स्ट होता है. अगर आप कोई कंपनी में हो, फर्स्ट आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि सस्टेनेबिलिटी. यू आर हैविंग अ न्यू कंपनी, यू हैव टू सस्टेन. अगर आप सस्टेन नहीं करोगे मार्केट में तो कैसे ग्रो करोगे? सस्टेनेबिलिटी मीन्स आप अपने आप को जैसे को बोलते हैं ना, जो फाइट अगेंस्ट द ऑड. सो वो होता है सस्टेनेबिलिटी. यू हैव टू स्टे इन योर मार्केट. फिर अगर आपने स्टे कर लिया तो फिर आपको नेक्स्ट आएगा क्या? यू हैव टू मेक अ प्रॉफिट. सो आप जो भी एनवायरमेंटल अपॉर्चुनिटीज होते हैं उनको टर्न कीजिए प्रॉफिट में. थर्ड आता है क्या? आपका प्रॉफिट भी हो गया. दैट मीन्स यू आर सस्टेनेबल. नाउ यू आर प्रॉफिटिंग ऑल्सो. बट व्हाट मेक्स, अगर सिर्फ प्रॉफिट से चल जाता तो फिर ये टाटा बिरला नहीं होते. तो फिर आपको अपना ब्रांड बनाना है. यू हैव टू क्रिएट योर ओन ब्रांड. So that is how you have to create your own brand. If you make a kind of create a kind of a goodwill for yourself, you have to earn goodwill for yourself, for your company. अगर आप goodwill बना लेते हो तो फिर आपका प्रोडक्ट भी ब्रांड बन जाता है, आपका कंपनी भी ब्रांड बन जाता है. So this is what very essential. 3 things is essential in this performance marketing. First one is to sustain. आपको मार्केट में सस्टेन करना है, आपको रहना है, जीवित रहना है मार्केट में. फिर क्या है? आपको प्रॉफिट अर्न करना है. दैट मीन्स वॉट एवर अपॉर्चुनिटीज आर देयर इन द मार्केट, दैट यू हैव टू टर्न इनटू प्रॉफिट. एंड थर्ड होता है सिर्फ प्रॉफिट से काम नहीं चलेगा भाई, आपको मार्केट लीडर बनना है, ब्रांड बनाना है, इमेज बनाना है. सो दिस 3 आर द मेजर फोकस पॉइंट इन द परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग. ओके
मैम
मगर
इंटर
वो
माइक्रो
जो एथिक्स था एनवायरनमेंट और कम्युनिटी था उसका भी
Sorry?
उनके उसमें ये ना एथिक्स है एनवायरनमेंट और कम्युनिटी
सॉरी नहीं सुनाई नहीं दिया एक्चुअली आई डोंट
Madam,
अंडरस्टैंड
madam, this is first unit. जो आप सर
I have completed the first unit. I will share the PPT of the first unit. Notes I will share the जो मैंने बोला था ना जो description का notes है that I will share all 5 units notes at a time in a like in a PDF form. अभी मैं आपको ये PPT share कर दूंगी first unit का.
मैम एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट फैक्टर हेलो मैम एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट फैक्टर रे इंटरनल फैक्टर कौन सा मैम टिके बुझाई देला होते
External environmental factor है internal factor कौन बोली पचाउछंदी
आज्ञा
internal factors हेले customers intermediaries suppliers and other stakeholders customers तो अपन कहली customers the people who buy the product and give their opinion about the product so से opinion टा control करिबा अपन हाथ रे अछि if the fellow person like x गोटे product किनला and he is very satisfied with the product ताले से प्लस पॉइंट ही कहबो अन्य को बट से जदी डिससैटिस्फाइड रहला ताले से माइनस पॉइंट कहबो से यदि प्लस पॉइंट कहला इट विल बी क्रिएट गुडविल फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से जदी माइनस पॉइंट कहला ताले जे कस्टमर आपन को आसिया कथा से फेरी जिवो गॉट इट सो ट्राई टू कंट्रोल दिस कस्टमर्स एंड ट्राई टू ड्रैग ऑल द प्लस पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम देम तापर आसले इंटरमीडिएरीज के ना जे गोटे ब्रिज टाइप रो क्रिएट करूचंदी इन बिटवीन द कस्टमर्स एंड द मार्केट सो एमाने इंटरमीडिएरीज तांको काम हला कोन ना से लोकन को जेहेतु दीस पीपल आर एक्सपर्ट्स एमाने लोकन को बुझेबे हाउ टू मेक अ इन्वेस्टमेंट सो एमान को भी कंट्रोल करिबा इजी सो आपण नै जानतो आरबीआई रे जति कोनो से इंटरमीडिएशन थ्रू रे आपण जाउचंती एंड आपनकर किछि इश्यूज रहउची चैलेंजेस रहउची देन एम्बेसमेंट ऑफिसर्स आर देयर even in insurance also investment officers are there and in SEBI there is a settlement house and SEBI also have their own website where they try to observe the intermediaries time to time so that you can control suppliers को तो
मैम हां इंटरमीडिएट्स तो एक्सटर्नल माइक्रो फैक्टर भीतर रही है जी
एक्सटर्नल माइक्रो भीतर रहिनी इंटरनल फैक्टर भीतर रहिची internal factor भितर रहउची internal जो रहउची that is also internal factors and internal micro factors external factor रे रहिनी तो मु भाबुची देखिले आपण macro environment जोटा external factors तादरे तो intermediaries नहीं ता भितर अछि macro economic environment political environment socio cultural environment demographic environment technological environment and ecological environment
मैम अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स मानकर कोन रोल अछि माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट रे
हां अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स किए फर्स्ट जानो अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स ले लोकल कम्युनिटीज देन अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स ले फाइनेंशियल कम्युनिटी अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स ले कंपनी रे एम्प्लॉई जेमति कि गोटे छोटो एग्जांपल देबी आपन को लिज्जत पापड़ आपन बहुत पॉपुलर ब्रांड जानि थिबे लिज्जत पापड़ वाज स्टार्टेड विथ द 10 women's with a contribution of 500 each fine semane jetale public limited company hele gote private limited company ro public limited company hele tanka stocks bahar kehi kini nathile prathame jo tankar 300 employees thile samaste se stock kinile tanko nijo stock ko nijo employees mane kinle saying that all stocks are equity stocks and we all are equally the owner of the Lijjat property fine this is the gestures and postures which is being there as a stakeholder stockholder investor आपण आपको कंट्रोल कर परिए बाहर लोक किनिले इट मे बी हैम्पर योर इक्विटी शेयर्स जदी आपण निज लोक किनुचंदी ताले इक्विटी शेयर आपण पाखे रहइबो एटा आपण कहि परिबे तो कंट्रोलेबल communities local community जो माने कि आपण को सराउंडिंग रे अछंती हाउ दे विल मेक अ इंपैक्ट टू यू सेटा भी आपण कहि परिबे then we have financial community जो माने इन्वेस्टमेंट करूचनी फाइनेंसिंग करूचंदी at your organization ए माने सब हेले अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स
थैंक यू मैम
मैडम नमस्कार माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट और मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट ना मैडम माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट और मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट दुटा रिलेटिव टर्म होची बट हम डिफरेंशिएट केली करबा ये माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट रे आछो ये मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट रे आछो
माइक्रो और मैक्रो रिलेटिव टर्म केमती हैला अजित बाबू? माइक्रो हैला छोटो, मैक्रो हैला बड़। माइक्रो हैला इंटरनल, मैक्रो हैला एक्सटर्नल, माइक्रो हैला कंट्रोलेबल, मैक्रो हैला अनकंट्रोलेबल। सिंपल जिंस जदि आपण एनवायरमेंटल स्टडीज करूछंती, माइक्रो हैला इंटरनल कंट्रोलेबल, मैक्रो हैला एक्सटर्नल अनकंट्रोलेबल। ओके, तो कल हमें नेक्स्ट क्लास से रेस्ट ऑफ द पोर्शन पढ़िबा, सेकंड यूनिट रो आरंभ करिबा। एंड थैंक यू, गुड नाइट टू ऑल ऑफ यू। सो टुमारो यू हाँ काली तमरो एमसीपी क्लास जोटा 9 रे अछि सेटा हबनी। बाकी सब क्लास जेमती आज फॉर दिस टाइम टेबल हो। ओके, थैंक यू। एमसीपी क्लास ता हबनी।
एमसीयू क्लास रे कोन हो?
एमसीपी क्लास ता सर सुजीत सर जणेबे केते बेला हबो।
ओके मैम।
ता जगह आउ किछि क्लास होबो कि एमसीक्यू क्लास जगह रे?
मैडम आउ किछि क्लास
नहीं से टाइम रे अलगा किछि क्लास हबनी। सर जणेबे काली एक्चुअली कन्वोकेशन अछि, सेति में सर क्लास नहीं करिवे।